Hi, my name is Francis Andreas, and today I will be talking about my research project. The title is The Right to be Supported, the Impacts of LGBTQ Environments on Queer and Trans Youth. Basically, this will be me analyzing small-scale studies and surveys. I won't go too into detail because that will take a very long time, so I will be just summarizing my key findings. But to start out, I wanted to just give a brief summary. Basically, what I did was I broke it down into three themes. One is looking into the natural occurrences of what we would deem as LGBTQ behavior or existence in nature. The second would be mental health trends to analyze the vulnerability of trans and queer youth in day-to-day life, to understand where they are in comparison to heterosexual cisgender peers. The third theme would be looking into how LGBTQ supportive environments impact the mental health that we've already analyzed in the second theme. That will give us more perspective on not only what is going on mental wise, but understand how environments can impact that mental health. What inspired this project is the current political environment. There is currently a Canadian movement called the Save the Children Convoy. Essentially, their movement is based in the belief that taking away LGBTQ existence and support in schools will actually save children and stop them from being what they claim is indoctrinated to be LGBTQ. They believe that the support will lead their children to become gay or transgender. This is obviously based out of fear. There is no necessary research that indicates otherwise. This project is basically a rebuttal to their claims, and the first theme is a direct rebuttal to the claim of indoctrination. So in my research, I found that there is over 1,500 species that have interacted with each other in homosexual behaviors or mated for life in homosexual relationships with other peers of their species. This could be, for example, penguins or monkeys. Another observation in my research that has been made is what we would deem as trans representation in nature. One example is clownfish. So essentially, when there's no females and there's an over amount of males, a male will give himself a sex change and become female, and will be able to reproduce as a female. A second example in that category would be chickens. There has been data that showed all the way back to 1920 of chickens turning themselves into roosters. Essentially, chickens have the ability to not reproductively change their sex, but they are able to appear as roosters and take on the male role. This has been observed when there is no rooster in the coop. So they will take on the male role of the coop. So in my mental health section, there was a general understanding through my research that teens on average in general are at a risk for poor mental health. It is a very hard time, and studies have shown 15 to even sometimes 25, 29. The fourth leading cause of death is suicide. So I just wanted to start off by saying that. But through my research, I found that there are significant percentages where LGBTQ youth have poorer mental health than heterosexual cisgender youth. Part of my study found that transgender youth in specific have a 58% more likelihood of suicide ideation than cisgender peers, and a 7.6% higher likelihood of actual suicide attempts. The study also covered same-sex gender attracted cisgender people and found that there was also a significant more likelihood of suicide ideation and suicide itself attempts. So Just like the second theme, I also looked at small scale studies, various ones, and I came to the general consensus that supportive environments have an impact on school connectedness. Now, school connectedness means to feel supported, welcome, to be themselves. Usually, there's better relationships between students and teachers. It has been linked to higher academic performances and less suicide ideation and suicide attempts. While there is still significant poorer mental health in these environments amongst LGBTQ students, their risk of suicide is lower when there is higher school connectedness. School connectedness can be linked to how students feel protected, and protection could be policy protection against LGBTQ bullying. And through my studies, I found that 55% of students responded that they have experienced verbal harassment due to gender expression being different than their gender identity, and 74% of students have been harassed due to actually being bullied for being gay. Along with this unsupportive environment, it was found that there is increase in suicide ideation amongst students who were LGBTQ youth. In conclusion, more research definitely needs to be done. The Save the Children convoy would love to save children. However, I believe it is important to understand what truly is saving children. Is the solution to saving children allowing for students the opportunity to feel more welcomed in their identities and understand each other through awareness? Or is the solution banning the existence, which would further stigmatize already vulnerable minority of students who already struggle with poorer mental health? What really is saving the children? Thank you for listening.